because I just have my accelerated, so they zipped through War of the Wall pretty fast. And then I asked him, I had him do this number 7 today.
You read War of the Wall already?
Yeah, I have that accelerated group. They're fast. I'll go get there. In my other class, I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
You just read Girls today.
Oh, really?
We have a pacing calendar, and so what we're covering the second half of this trimester is characterization. We started out with plot and foreshadowing in the first half. Is this the textbook that your school chooses?
We don't have that one.
Okay.
So we agreed that we were going to ask question number 7 on page 181. So when I was going over War of the Wall, we didn't talk about the painter lady. We just focused on the narrator.
Are we supposed to talk to you?
No.
No, you guys ignore us.
Do your thing, yeah.
It's a fishbowl.
Unless you want to share something, but otherwise.
Well, we're covering characterization, and the story that we're reading, there are several characters, and what Ms. Cotton and I talked about is talking about these characters and how the author uses characterization, indirect or direct characterization, but we're purposefully not talking about one of the characters, who is the painter lady, because where it says analyze the painter's character, support your analysis with examples from the text. So the reason that we're doing that is that the students would be able to read that independently, come up with their own examples independently. And then when we look at their responses to this, hopefully that will suggest to us who got it and who didn't. And that's how we're going to identify the students for our tutorial. Is this...
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for the background.
Yeah, we understand.
Well, I mean, we know what
Yeah.
but I thought it might be helpful if they did.
That's good. So here with my kids today, but again, they were in my accelerated group. So, and I told them that for the evidence, it had to be a quote from the book, that they kind of just use their own words.
This is how you have them do 7? Did you have them do all of these?
No,
Or
I
only
just
7?
did only
Okay.
7. Because I just wanted to see who has the character traits down for tutorial on Thursday.
Did you tell them the number
I
that they
said
had
2 to 3.
Okay.
But I mean, rude. I told them that they couldn't use mean.
Okay.
That was the only thing I told them. Perfectionist.
Did they have to identify it, or
Like if it was action, I didn't. But I could go back and have them do it. I was just thinking of the chapter test. Like this is all they have to do. Remember we looked at the chapter test last week? And we
you
said...
don't have to specify if it's
Right.
action or words or anything?
Yeah. But we could bring that in. I might do that with my bridge class. Have them specify it, where these guys I didn't. But I'll have to go through this.
Why would you do it with the bridge class?
Because they're just, they still are trying to figure out, just like today I said, what's your evidence? And they can't even pull a quote. So I'm really trying to get like, okay, what did the character say that made you think that? Or what did the character do that made you think that? Just to get them to be more aware of going back to the text. Because they just want to say, oh, well, it's because this, and that. And not pulling it. I want them to pull evidence from the text, textual evidence. So, that's the only reason why I was going to do it in the bridge.
Okay.
That rude.
Makes sense. Stubborn is good.
Persistent. So
This
there's,
is all independent?
yeah, I had them do it by themselves this morning. I gave them like 5-10 minutes. But yeah, so I'll go over this. So when you give it to your class, then maybe we can figure out how many kids need it, because maybe we just need one class or both.
Okay.
And
And this is for a week from Thursday?
now
For this Thursday?
well, we had characterization down for tutorial
No, but I thought
Thursday.
that was, okay.
We do need to talk about what we want to do for the next 2 weeks, though.
Okay.
Do you think you'll get through War of the Law by Wednesday?
Maybe.
You can do it.
Okay.
Alright. So, I was almost thinking too, like, I mean, is your accelerated class in the same place too? I was almost going to throw in another story for them, because my kids are just sipping along. But I'll think about it. See how your kids do.
Okay. We could probably start War of the Wall tomorrow. And get that knocked out by Wednesday.
Okay. Did we want to throw any other questions in? To see... Number 2's not a bad one. Which of the painter's attributes other than your meter?
I think if they do that,
That's good enough.
they'll,
We'll be able to... can consider it. Here's a good one. Trespassive. New word. Thoughtful, snobbish. So.
do you even get the end? I mean, I think they see yours differently at the end of the story.
Yeah, because someone said thoughtful. Respectful. Like Nick, a little bit expectant. I don't know what that means. Could I get raw beets in that tossed salad? Not talkative.
Does he mean like demanding?
Like she just expects things out of... So he got respectful and kind-hearted, but then a little bit expectant, not talkative. I'll go over that with him. Thoughtful. She's unrespected. I get what they're saying, because here's their quote: flat out told the painter lady to quit messing with that wall. So they're being disrespectful to her.
Right. So that'd be an example of how other characters relate to her.
Artistic, creative, intimidated. So yeah, I think my kids, curious, demanding. So, all right. So you'll finish that up, and then we'll figure out who needs tutorial. And then are you gonna, with my accelerated group, I was gonna do that Wordle with them. Remember we talked about it last week? So, just because, do something with the text. Do you remember what it was?
How important the words are, you mean?
Yeah. So,
How big they are?
I'm just gonna give them a piece of paper, and they're gonna have to decide which quotes or which traits should be like larger than others, depending on their importance to the story. And then have quotes in there too. And make it pretty. So I think I'm gonna do that this week with them.
Okay.
So.
So what about for if they have difficulty learning for the tutorial?
Yeah, I'm gonna steal 6th grade's idea, because they had a really good one. They had like quotes, and they're gonna cut them up, and then traits, and the kids were gonna have to match the quote to the trait.
Okay, these are just random quotes,
Yeah.
not from any particular story.
Right.
Okay,
It's kind of like what we did with the characterization practice.
okay.
So maybe I'll ask 6th grade for that, and because then it's just getting down to the, you know, what's the trait. So I think if they're having a hard time on that, then that's what they'll need. What do you
Okay.
think?
Yeah, what I've done before is gone back to Ricky Tikki Tavi. And,
We didn't
Right.
leave it.
I know.
But you could go back to monsters.
Right, but you can still, and I still have the post-it notes in there from, you know,
We could pull the quotes from there to do.
for this.
Yeah.
Okay,
So so it'll be like this, where they have to kind of.
this is more, I think, delineating between direct
Direct.
characterization and indirect characterization. But, yeah, I can go through this and put quotes.
So if you pull 5 and I'll pull 5, and then how about you do 5 from Ricky Tikki Tavi and I'll do 5 from Monsters,
Okay,
and then we can put that together, and the kids can work on it in partners or something
okay.
and see how they do. 'Cause I'm thinking that the next 2 weeks will still be tutorial for characterization. Don't you?
Mhm.